Are you ready for the Low Blows Network? Every Wednesday on the Low Blows Network, the Low Blows team are at hand to break down, analyze, and make fun of all things pro wrestling. Hosted by former pro wrestler Rick Nash. I think the only reasonable thing we can do now is turn John Cena heel.
Selfie with me fucking Doug.
Banned from Nigeria. I will be talking to the government tomorrow morning. YouTube star Corporate Cian.
This elephant has 4 legs. Joe Russell's 4 legs. Joseph Stalin, if he had 2 more legs.
Bone saw rips off his shirt, yeah, and it says, "Chuck your law, big dirty tricolour."
And the Queen of Irish Wrestling, Katie Harvey.
I won't want to decide. Just CM Punk.
So embarrassed. CM Punk.
It's Low Blows. Green Book picked up a shock win for Best Picture at Sunday's Academy Awards, despite being one of the few movies that nobody was talking about for the award beforehand, and controversy swirling around the movie script, which, if you haven't heard already, the family of Ali came out. I can't say that name. I'm watching him in everything at the moment and I still can't say his goddamn name. The character that he played came out and said none of that is true. That's not the case. And yet won the Oscar for Best Picture on Sunday when there were like plenty of deserving candidates. So, as we get kicked off here, on another edition of Low Blows, Rick Nash and Corporate Cian in, Katie Harvey away just for this week on Family Business. She will be back next week, guys, don't worry. Corporate Cian, as we get kicked off, what or who is the least deserving person or thing in general in wrestling that ended up getting rewarded and might still get rewarded to this day?
Oh, do you remember when Bray Wyatt won the WWE title? And it was, no, that was good. I actually really like Bray Wyatt. And I thought his WWE title, like, when he became champion, I was like, oh, this is going to be deadly. And then you had to watch it Randy Orton, and you're thinking, oh, Wyatt is going to walk out as champion. It's going to be deadly. And then he lost, and then Orton won it, even though he'd already, he didn't really need it.
Yeah.
And then we're like, well, I mean, I suppose at least can't get any worse. And then Jinder Mahal beat him. And then it's like, right, this is probably the equivalent to that. I don't follow the Oscars. I gotta be honest. I hate the Oscars.
Really?
Because I went into college then the next morning and I was like sitting around ready to talk to people and they were like, oh, the Oscars. And I was like, oh yeah, Bohemian Rhapsody was. I mean, it happened, didn't it? So, that's good or bad, I think.
Yeah, it is. It's a load of crap, but it gives us something to chat about at the water cooler, I guess, for the week that's in it. I could definitely see that period of WWE title reigns as the Green Book of wrestling. For me, the thing that gets rewarded or gets plaudits for that doesn't deserve it for me, and I've spoken about this a bit before, War Games. Everyone is like, War Games, oh, it's the best stipulation ever. Oh, this team is going to fight this team at War Games. And it's like, okay, for a start, right, what we talked about before is I don't see how that's the ultimate form of conflict. It's a team of 5 versus 5 in a cage, or whatever the teams are, in a cage, and then one person comes in at a time, like a Royal Rumble. It's like it's like a match made by committee, where they're like, well, people love countdowns and this, and people love like cages, and people love teams things because Survivor Series is doing well, and also as well, the name doesn't make sense. It's not a war game. It's not like wars are about territory and they're about like numerical advantage and strategy and political things, whereas this is just beat the shit out of each other in 2 cages. And like, even if you could say there's a numerical advantage because one team will have more than the other throughout, and it's like, yeah, but then it evens up at the end. Like, there's no kind of, I don't see how it's a war game. I don't see how it is set to resolve conflict. Don't get me wrong, there have been some great War Games matches. Sometimes, like, look at King of the Mountain is a great example in TNA. Sometimes stupid stipulations can still reap good matches.
Floodgate match.
Yeah, this is it, which will be discussed later. But like, also, but even then you see like with that, it's like there's an objective there because it's just chaos. It's control chaos where it's like, why not just add another person and add another person and add another person? But like with War Games, it's like, this is the ultimate. There's only one way that these two teams could settle their issues. And it's like, really? 2 cages, or 1 cage, 2 rings, like entering at intervals, not being able to climb out? One fault, like what? Like how is that? For me, everyone goes mad about War Games. I just never got it.
I think that it is an ultimate way of conflict or whatever, because there's no escape in the cage. You know what I mean? It's the one match where it's like there actually is no escape, because it's like if you escape, you lose. So,
yeah, I like that stip.
And that includes falling off. So for once, you're actually not allowed to escape at all. And what's the other thing? Yeah, it is about territory. That's their territory. Do you know what I mean? Whoever wins.
The 2 rings?
Yeah.
Which they'll never see again?
Well, they will. I mean, look.
They're not going to have that on Raw going, this is our territory, like.
Well, I mean, they will on the network, because they'll be like, oh, look, that's when we took over that territory. That arena became ours.
Like, is that not every match and every win?
Yeah, that's how I look at wrestling. But, I mean, still, it's territory, but with the added stip that you can't escape. So, ultimate form of combat.
Okay, interesting. Right, okay, fair enough. Different opinions different opinions apply too. Apologies, by the way, guys. We were just speaking about this. If you can hear, like, weird porno music in the background. We're in Low Blows HQ. Not sure how to turn the music off. So we're just going to let it play there. I'm going to hold the mic up. Hold your mic up as well, see if people can get it. Low Blows elevator.
It's really music, isn't it?
We're not standing in an elevator. We are in regular Low Blows HQ.
I like it.
Katie would know how to fix this. This is another thing where Katie goes, it just goes to shit. The lads are left in. But anyway, guys, it was a big week in pro wrestling. We're going to be talking about some of the Irish wrestling. Corporate Cian had a big week personally. Of course, I've been going into GM mode now for nearly a year. But Corporate Cian got a taste of it just last week. So we're going to be having him tell the full story of that. We're also going to be talking a lot of WWE news, a lot of big stories this week, a lot of big returns. So we're going to be discussing that and much more still to come. We're also going to be giving you all the details about our WrestleMania weekend that we released during the week, so stay tuned for that. But first, we're going to get kicked off with the things that have been grinding our gears this week, because even while Katie Harvey's away and we have no Harvey's hot take, we're still going to go through the news stories that have been piquing our interest and giving our hot takes on them. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, it's time for Hot Takes. Hot takes. I'm going to get us kicked off. And look, I don't want to kind of harp on the courage thing after we had. I think we said we were like, we talked about it for half an hour last week, so I don't want to keep...
Half?
Yeah.
I mean, we could, sure, we'll go with that.
Maybe more, yeah.
A little bit more.
We talked about it for a long time last week, so I don't really want to get back into it, but there was kind of a fallout from the fallout that kind of brings me into what I want to talk about this week. So it was after the show aired. I think it was the next day. I started seeing on Twitter, I think it was Friday actually, I started seeing on Twitter like people being like, you know what, the guys still got paid and blah blah blah, and I was there's a part of me that got a bit salty with that, because I think during the Courage whole saga, you were there for all of it, and we had private conversations that even Mr. Courage 1 and 2 weren't privy to. Ja Rule, and as was revealed on Kayfabe Nuox last week. But yeah, so I think we can both agree that I kind of had the measure of the lads, and that everything I kind of was stressing about and was like, I bet they're going to cancel the show and this and that, ended up coming to pass. Like, they were quite predictable in their antics. So it bothered me, and I was like, why is this bothering me? And not only because, the reason lads got paid was because, I insisted they get paid and I put pressure on the lads. So it's not just me looking for credit or anything like that, but I was like, this isn't sitting right with me. So I'm like, why is something off about this? So I ended up getting on to our friends in GG Media. For me, the best media production company. When you're talking about production in Irish wrestling, you're talking about GG Media and you're talking about Sean Ryan, and they are the elite. Twisted Vision were great as well for a while, so but they're raising the standard for production in Irish wrestling today, I have to say. I got onto that and I'm just like, did you get paid like the rest of the lads? And sure enough, we found out that they had not. And I put out a tweet basically saying, look, did you think you get away with it, lads? Or did you think, you You just wanted to get credit from the wrestlers on Twitter to take some of the heat off. And then, fortunately, you can put your outrage away. It ended up getting the situation resolved. So there's a happy ending there too. The point I want to bring up is that this was the reason I had this thought is because it's like, where could the lads try and get away with not paying? Because also, I've worked with a lot of wrestling promoters, and I know that there are certain jobs that maybe promoters don't know how to do, that they outsource to other skilled people, that they don't necessarily realize the work and effort that goes into it. And production is top of that list. And in that sense, like, different promotions have different ways when it comes to paying and stuff like that. You have, like, schools like Fight Factory, and I know MSW used to run gym shows when they were still around. And their trainees working for their school and working for their show and stuff like that, and all the money kind of resources go back into the school then, and that's kind of the point of those. They're more fundraisers than anything else, whereas the school is the primary business. But especially in for-profit things, essentially what people are doing is they're working on the show to get experience, to pad their CV, and also for money. Like, that's part of it. Like, ultimately what we have to remember is that as much as we love wrestling as fans, this is what people want to make their livelihood. They also have to take time off work to make themselves available for the show, or they have to miss time elsewhere. I remember when I started wrestling, I couldn't get a job. We used to do Toboggan Holiday Centre with Irish Wrestling every Tuesday. I couldn't get a job for that whole summer. Reason being because I needed Saturday and Sundays off, because there were shows at the weekends or training or whatnot, and then I needed Tuesdays off. So I couldn't get a full-time job, which is Monday to Friday, and I couldn't get a part-time job, which is evenings and weekends. So I just had to have no job. So that's like the real-life cost on wrestlers and people working within the wrestling industry, of which GG Media are very much as much of a part of it as anyone else. The problem is, I think promoters sometimes can take that for granted. And not necessarily here in Ireland. I'm not even saying there's a problem here. But just in general, I think promoters can be like, make a video or do something like that. Corporate Cian, making videos, not as easy as it looks. It's not as simple as just throw a few clips together and it's grand.
No.
How long would, say, an average video? You release a video, which we will plug later in an excellent video this week. 10 minutes. How long did that take you to prepare, out of interest? I don't know the answer to this.
Oh, that one in particular?
Yeah. Or on average, how long would it take you to prepare a video?
It's hard to say on average because it's like all the videos are different.
Yeah,
some
of course.
would be quick. Some, generally it would take a few days at least. You know what I mean? Like 4 days maybe.
And you're talking hour, if you had to put an hour time limit on it.
I don't even know.
If it was 4 days work, would that be 16 hours of actual sitting down and working? That's a yes. But thereabouts, you're talking it could be 16, 20 hours you'd be working away.
I don't get fucking any free time. If you take out college and YouTube, I'm fuck all free time beyond that. Do you know what I mean? So, and if the show's on, I just can't put a video out because that's how long it takes. It's the whole weekend. You know? So, it's it takes a long time.
That's production, and as well, when you look at wrestlers, and I'm not saying that nothing goes into being a wrestler, or it's just, I hate that argument where it's you work for 20 minutes, but it's no, the work is in the gym and training and dieting and, not being able to live a normal life and being broke. That's the work side of it. The in-ring is the fun. So I'm not saying that wrestlers only work for 20 minutes, but also the time it's spent putting into production and whatnot, and also the skill set needed is on the same level, at the very least, as any of the wrestlers performing on the show as well. When it comes to actual show length, if you're talking GG Media, you're talking they have to be working for the entire show. Wrestlers literally do 20 minutes on the show itself, never mind the extra that goes into it. But GG Media have to do 3 hours of the show because that's the point of them being there. So it's persistent work. It's like commentary. We've talked about it before because we've both done commentary. You have to be on for a long time, and it's something that people don't kind of realize until they do it, where it's by the end of it, which is the main event, the time you're supposed to be most excited, you could be bollocksed and have said everything that's in your brain. And that's just the way it works. But that's the reality of production. People, if it's a for-profit, if people are making money on the show, it's just as important to pay your skilled staff, the people who have a skill that you do not have. There are some jobs that you can, have as paying your dues, and I'm using quotation marks there, jobs, such as I don't think someone who presses play and stop on the music, for example, necessarily deserves a big payday, unless everyone's getting paid, and that's the way it is. And wrestling, of course, there's not a lot of money in small independent wrestling, so sometimes it's just a reality that you'll need people to volunteer their time for free, and trainees trying to earn their stripes and get experience behind the scenes. That's a good way of doing it. Working the merch stand as well, depending on what kind of merch stand you have, it's a basic one. Yeah, there you go. That can be loaned out to someone who's just trying to setting up the ring, that kind of stuff. It's a team effort. Paying 20 people will be a lot, you know what I mean? So get trainees in who are looking to kind of pay their dues and stuff like that. I can respect that. But then you've got your skilled workers like your production staff who offer something that you don't have. And here's the reality as well. Production staff are as much of a draw for you as any wrestler on that card, unless you've got, say, and there are very few people who can legitimately claim, and this isn't a dig or anything like that, it's just a reality, to be a legitimate draw, as in people will put money on the table if they are on the card, or they will not if they're not. You're talking Jordan Devlin, you're talking Session Mott, and then that's probably it as far as the local scene is concerned. Now, and again, not a dig at anyone else. Everyone, we have a very strong scene that is punching above its weight, but it's a very different question to ask. It's if your name is announced, will people immediately put money on the table and bite it? Will a promoter get 50 immediate Eventbrite emails after they announce your name on your match on Twitter? That's a skill, and that's something which we don't have. So production teams and video packages, you see the difference that Sean Ryan has made for OTT. He is selling tickets. He is a draw. You know what I mean? He is as much of a draw probably as anyone else on that. So you've got to look at that thing as well. Another thing that I like to bring up, I used to tell a joke in Irish for Preston that I was the biggest draw of the whole company. It was a joke, but there was a grain of truth in there. And I'm not saying it to pump myself over. I'm just saying that this job in general is important because of the work I did in the promo and the street team. If you've got someone who's good in that, they can make or break your show. If you've got someone who's got a bit of cop on and a bit of hard work and knows what they're doing with that, they can make and break your show. So that person is then selling you tickets that your wrestlers are not. And that's not a dig at any of the wrestlers, but they're filling a place and they do deserve payment. They're putting their bodies on the line. That's not saying that they don't. But the promo people, if you've got someone who is good and able to do that for you in the way that I had to manage it for Irish Wrestling, they can earn you money. So what I'm saying is pay your skilled staff. Wrestling companies, especially if you're for profit. If it's a community thing where all the money, where essentially the schools where the money is going back into the school and it's a fundraiser event essentially, that's fair enough. But if it's not, then and you're making money and the goal of it is for you to make money and you to profit, then you need to pay people. And in Twitter, as we've seen with Courage last week, there are now smart people who are smart to the business who can call you the fuck out on it. And people do not react well. That tweet got a very good response within a very short amount of time, and Courage were forced to pay the lads. Thankfully, they were. So that's a good thing from Twitter, but it's a bad thing for promoters. So pay your fucking skilled staff. These jobs matters, and just because you don't know how long it takes doesn't mean that it takes nothing or it's unimportant and doesn't make a difference. Anyway, that's my hot take. Corporate Cian, on to you.
Well, mine isn't as long.
Sorry.
It's basically just that TJP got released, yeah? And you see all these people being like, we got fired because of his bad attitude backstage. Yeah, we got fired because he's a bit of an arsehole, you know what I mean? It's you don't know the wrestlers. That's essentially just my hot take. You don't know the wrestlers. I mean, it's it's different if it's, say, Irish wrestling and you've had loads of encounters with someone or you know them personally or something along those lines. But when it comes to... Or maybe if it's something major, like a wrestler obviously commits a horrible crime, or they are constantly no-showing and doing shit like that. But if it's behind the scenes shit, you just don't know. And another thing that really pisses me off, you see people do this all the time. I was going to make a video on this ages ago, so I've looked up videos and tweets that people put up about wrestlers who are rude to them when they met them.
Yeah.
And it's so blown out of proportion. You'll see someone go up and say, I was at a merch table meeting a wrestler, and they looked somewhat disinterested. He looked like he didn't even want to be there. It's like, yeah, he probably didn't want to be there.
This is work.
Yeah, he's probably tired. He's at work, and he's got people coming up to him. Imagine if you worked in, like, I don't know, fucking Centra, right?
Yeah.
And you had people come up to you, and based off them buying a fucking role, they were able to say, right, I know your personality because I just bought this role. I visited you in work. You looked very disinterested to be here, so you're probably a complete arsehole. And,
happens in all of retail, though, to be fair. Like, that is the thing that happens. People are just idiots in general.
Because it's a wrestler, they carry this, and they always view wrestlers as being these fucking arseholes.
Yeah.
Because they had, you know, a little interaction with them. Or, and it's the worst one, because they read fucking, like, you know, Meltzer or whoever it was said they were mean backstage, or they got kicked off a tour bus, or that Vince McMahon was unhappy because whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? Like, it's just a load of shit, really. I'm not saying, like, the reality is, I know TJP strikes me as a complete arsehole too, but because I know his on-screen character. Like, I've seen in Irish wrestling, I've seen
go on.
It's like, so when a wrestler is a face, right?
Okay.
And it's like, I don't want to be too specific on this one.
No. They have kind of a Disney persona, which is...
Yeah, so say, like, a wrestler has done some, like, bad things.
Okay.
And they're a face.
Right.
And people are like, oh, yeah, you know, he might have done that bad. Like, he might... You know what? How about we use...
I know who you're talking about.
How about we use Steve Austin and Bram as examples, right?
Okay.
Steve Austin, yeah, he beat his wife, and he was convicted. But, I mean, look, he's getting cheered. It's probably past him now. You know, he's probably learned from it. He's probably, you know, whatever. They come up with all these excuses like, you know, well, fuck it, you know, he's a face. But when someone's a heel, it's so mad. It's like when someone turns heel, it's like, I can't believe he did that thing. Oh, fuck him, he's a scumbag. He's shit and all. It's like,
this isn't just because he's a heel.
Yeah, it's like
I'm not getting worked.
Exactly. It's like, well, why didn't you fucking say that when he's a face then? You know what I mean? Fans are they don't realise it, but we are very
fickle.
We are we're very. I don't know what the word is. Like, the on-screen character absolutely influences how we view them.
Yep.
And, like, it is just that. It is an on-screen character. Like, TJP could be nothing like his on-screen fucking character, and he probably isn't, you know what I mean? Like, but we'll never know. But we'll look at him and go, fucking arsehole. So the thing is, when you look at his character and you think, well, what a fucking dick, and then you read a story from Meltzer or whoever saying, yeah, he's a bit of a dick, then you're like, that's because that's what you want to hear. You're like, yeah, fuck him, yeah. But just in summary, you don't know the wrestlers. That's just it. You know what I mean? None of us do, unless, of course, you know, it's someone you know personally. Yeah,
this is it, exactly. And, like, it's funny. Justy spoke about this on the Spanto a few weeks ago, and it's like, who are the real dickheads in Irish wrestling? And he obviously didn't say, and he's like, no, I don't think anyone's a dickhead, but, like, there's some people who are absolutely loved online that it's like, you know, if you heard what they spoke about backstage, knowing what gets you angry online, you would not like this person when you hear them being themselves. And that's the thing, like, people are people. I've, like, lived this. I, like, remember, I've probably touched on this before, I had my Bebo hacked. Did I ever tell you this? It was hilarious. I had my Bebo hacked back in the day because fans took against me because, again, I was a heel. And I was quite good at being a heel, and I get quite personal being a heel as well. Like, do you know what I mean? I'd come out and I'd be like, I'd get in people's faces. If their girlfriend was in the crowd, I'd be like, haha, your girlfriend would ride me. You're after paying into a show to see me, and you can't do anything about it. You can't get up in this ring and do something about it because I would beat you up and humiliate you in front of your girlfriend. And what would that make it? That would make your girlfriend want to ride me more. So I get real. I get real with people, and they'd hate it. But then, like, the good guys winning, so we're telling a story. That's the point of it. I'm here to rile you up, and, you know, then I get my comeuppance in the end. That's part of it. And I'm actually, like, I'm not a bad person. Like, I tend to do nice things most of the time. I'm a person, so I'm not always good either. But you don't know me. You're basing off this. And then, like, people took against my, like, persona and, like, just assumed that I was this guy that they saw because I got real with them. But, like, I'm gonna say stuff like that's what being a heel is. Like, that's my job. I'm sorry if other heels mightn't be willing to go in on you, but I am. But then you're going to see me get the shit kicked out of me and cheer. And that's good. You get to live that experience through me. But, like, I don't mean that. If I saw you afterwards, I'd see it, but then I ended up one day, got a tearful call from the girl I was with going, "You dumped me?" And I'm like, "What?" She's like, "You broke up with me on Bebo." And I'm like, "What the fuck?" And then like I checked my page and it's like, "I'm a fucking idiot." And it was amazing. No, quick password change and that was the end of that. But yeah, no, I've personally lived that where people think they know you, but they don't. And here's the thing as well, like, lads, some of the people you love, and some of the people you hate, they're lovely. They're genuinely lovely, but they're willing to work it, and that's a part of it. So yeah, it's that's very true. I could not agree more. Anyway, look, that's the outside of the ring, things that have been bothering us. Let's talk about the things that bothered us inside the ring this week, and the things that we liked as well, starting with the bad, because ladies and gentlemen, it's time for
Say Something Stupid.
Say Something Stupid, worst of the week. And at number 5, talk to me about ICW.
Yeah, so ICW's Royal Rumble equivalent was this Sunday, Square Go, and I watched it. I saw a spoiler on Reddit before I watched it. Now, it wasn't a spoiler like, who wins. It was like, the way on Reddit, if you see a spoiler, it tells you it's a spoiler, so you don't have to click it. You just know, okay. And the title was ICW spoiler, surprise entrant. And I was like, oh shit, I wonder who it is. Because, I mean, they're with WWE, it could be fucking anyone. And I'm like, oh shit, let's see who it is. I watched the whole match. 1, 2, 3, 4, no one. 29, so I watched the whole match, and we got to 29. This is the surprise entrant. I was like, oh shit, who's it gonna be? Jeff Jarrett. It was Jeff Jarrett, man. And I just...
Oh, brilliant.
Why? Like, what? Like, I mean, if the crowd loved it, if everyone else loved it, and I'm just
And
weird,
did they?
They liked it, yeah. I mean,
oh, God.
I suppose, like...
And did he do the J.E. haha? Did he do all that?
Yeah, he did the walk with Jackie Polo, who's now Just Justice, and I don't get it.
Right.
I don't get that whole character. Maybe that's a different, say something stupid for a different day, but it was really anticlimactic, and the match itself, it wasn't like the worst shit ever. It wasn't bad, but it was just... Oh, also, just a positive one I forgot to put in This Is Awesome. The Kings of Catch, Lewis Gervin and Lou Aspen Faith, won the fucking ICW tag team titles.
Okay.
And it was deadly because I'm a big Filthy Generation fan. So
alright, so it wasn't all bad, but that's disappointing as well, because I know you were low on ICW a few weeks ago, you're wondering if it was dead, but you said that this show was, you're going to get me back for this show, and then it just kind of...
Yeah, I wouldn't. It definitely... I still... Like, last week, I had to watch ICW Fight Club on Friday. And do you know what my reaction was? And I've never liked this, because when it comes to Raw and SmackDown, which is the way people normally react to it, I don't watch this, so it's not really a big deal, because it's a lot of time. But when I had to watch ICW, I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. And it's like, I'm like paying money to watch this, and I don't like it. I was like, what am I doing? But at the same time, I don't want to lose touch with it. I still want to be up to date with it.
You've been so loyal over the years there.
It's just not entertaining. It's just not like... It's just, you know what I mean? Like,
that's sad.
I mean, this is a spoiler for anyone who's into it. Red Lightning won it. Do you know who that is?
No.
No, there's no point in explaining it. Fuck it. But yeah, it's not... It's just not that exciting, is all I have to say. It's okay. I don't know. We'll see where it goes. It's
kind of, as well, it's the problem with basing it around, like, Attitude Era stuff. Like, if you base your product around free, what you're going to get is probably a hot product, but for a short amount of time. Because when your product relies a lot on shock value and, like, we're going to do this, and this is just my impression of ICW, so I may be wrong in saying it rather than having watched it like you have. But as well, eventually you're going to run out. Like, the shock value is going to wear off, and it's like, well, what have you got? Like, what can I get my teeth sunk into? Would that be a fair way of looking at it?
ICW's selling point, when I got into it anyway, was that it was cool. There wasn't loads of cool promotions out there. It was like, it was different because being an 18s promotion in this part of the world was different. But now there's so many cool promotions out there. There's so many 18s and, whatever else. In the UK alone. And then you've got Ireland, and you've got Europe, and where it's like...
They've just been passed out in what they did.
You need more than just, look, we're cool. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's not that.
Kind of coasting a bit, like.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'll stick with it, and we'll see, if it goes anywhere good. Again, Filthy Generation are tag champs, so that's something.
It's not all bad. There you go. Stay positive.
Oh, by the way, Phoenix, if you're listening, bring in the Filthy Generation. Go on. I saw someone on Twitter there today, like, tagging Phoenix and all that. I was like, go on, do it. do it. It'll be deadly.
You were GM for a night. Maybe you missed your shot.
I know. And the Cork fans want to see Lewis Girvan. It's like Cork is a weird one. I don't know if you ever see this where like Phoenix will put up, who do you want to see in Phoenix wrestling this year? And it's not like, oh, I want to see fucking like
Kenny
David
Omega.
Starr, Kenny Omega, or Walter. It's like they want to see people who wrestled in Cork beforehand because it's like it's their own scene. So they want to see Pastor William Ever, Jody Fleisch, and they've brought back old lads that they used to bring over.
Cool.
But they haven't brought back Lewis Girvan yet, and I really want to see him because I'm actually a big fan.
I love that when you get into like kind of the intricacies of the local scene, like how much they love Chris Renfrew up north. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but like if OTT booked him, it'd be like, what? Like Chris Renfrew? Like not in a bad way against him, but like
it'd be me popping.
He just has that connection with the fans up north because he's wrestling for PW for
but
so
then
long.
again,
It's cool.
You could say the same about like any Irish wrestler that we love.
Yeah.
Going to like the Kings of North get mad reactions anytime they wrestle in fucking, you know, OTT.
Yeah.
They're going crazy. Whether you love or hate them, they get a reaction. Everybody cares. But then when they go to like Progress, it's just another lad coming in. Do you know what I mean? Like Damien Corbin or whatever. It's just another wrestler.
It was interesting. The one time I went down to Phoenix was Session Mott's debut, and like she got there, she wrestled a match with Billy Bedlam, of course, and I think it was a tag match. But like she had to work for it. It was interesting. Like now she's more than able, so she got where she needed to be. But like it was announced as this big Session Mott is debuting, and then it was like as soon as it came out, it's like, oh yeah, there's Maniac. Oh yeah, no. Oh, what are you dancing for? And then it's like, but she worked and she got where she needed to be. But you don't necessarily get that crossover.
The Limerick wrestling scene and Steve Savage, name a better couple. Like it's just beautiful stuff.
There you go. Anyway, look, we're happier now that we were talking about ICW. In a number 4, one from Raw, one or two that I have to talk about. Do you remember the memes are still running wild, I'm sure, in the Irish Wrestling Forum when Kurt Angle came back at TLC and the unbridled excitement that followed it. Like, literally for a year after TLC, like, that was still a meme in the Irish Wrestling Forum.
Well, it was more of a dead joke.
Yeah, I know, but like people are still talking. Like it was a joke for a reason because everyone freaked the fuck out, and it was so special. People, when he came back to WWE, the excitement with like Kurt Angle's back. Oh, all these dream matches, Daniel Bryan, this, that, the other. Oh my God, it's going to be amazing. And it was so special. And you know what? They managed to keep it special, even when they had him wrestle a little bit more. Okay, the Baron Corbin thing kind of grated on us a little bit, but even when he wrestled the kind of meaningless matches on Raw, we're like, at least this is playing towards something. Kurt Angle wrestled again this week on Raw against Jinder Mahal for no reason. Jinder Mahal was just in the ring doing a random promo like, ooh, Shanti, Shanti, and then Kurt Angle's music hit, and they had a full 10-15 minute match. And I'm like, the only reason this match makes sense is if you're having Jinder winning because you're pushing him again, which I don't want to see either. So I'm like, there's no good reason to have this. Angle ended up winning. I think what happened was he was involved in the Ric Flair birthday celebration later, and they're like, look, we've got 10 minutes. Do you want to wrestle, Kurt? Do you want to wrestle? Right, who's around? Who are we not using? And we can just have Jinder. Right, you're in with Jinder. And that was literally it. And it's just, it hurts me because we looked forward to this for so long. And there is still so much you can do. Put him on SmackDown. All the class wrestlers are on SmackDown. Have them do a reunion with Samoa Joe. Even if it's just a one-off backstage segment where they walk past each other and it's like, just nod in appreciation or something like that. That'd be cool. I'd pop for that. Daniel Bryan, have him do a one-off match with him, maybe even on a pay-per-view. I'd go for that. Kevin Owens is back. There's so many matches that we haven't seen him in. If you're going to go this way, then at least go about it in a way which interests me. Don't put him against Jinder Mahal. I don't need to fucking see that. I'd rather see him retired than see him wrestle these matches.
No, I think it's deadly.
Okay.
I think it's deadly because it's like, it's different, you know what I mean? Like, you didn't. No one told me that we were getting like. I didn't even know Kurt Angle versus Jinder Mahal happened. That's a mad.
Well, this is the point.
But I'd almost watch it just to see that, just because it's like, well, fuck it, it's gas, like it's different. You know what I mean? And I think it's important for Kurt Angle to win matches against likes of Jinder Mahal. And it's the same with Triple H. I remember at one time, I think I brought this up before, when he beat Dolph Ziggler on Raw, and people were like, oh, he buried Dolph Ziggler. You know, this makes no sense. Ziggler should have won if they want to, you know, push Ziggler. But for me, it's like, these old lads still need to win matches, or they're not a threat, or they're just an old lad that used to win matches. You know what I mean? It's like in MMA. Do you ever see when fucking someone beats Fedor Emelianenko? it doesn't really mean anything anymore. His chin is made of glass. Whereas, like, back in the day, you would have been a tank. You know, old people still need to win matches to... I say old people, like, they're fucking, like, 90, living in a fucking...
Like, I'm old to you, and I'm 31,
like they live in a fucking, like, what's the thing, like, home in Greystones. Like, no, they're still wrestling.
Greystones makes you old. If you're listening from Greystones, you're old.
Greystones is an old person town.
Even if you're younger than Corporate Cian, you're still old because Greystones.
Yeah, Greystones, like, that's where you go to retire and stuff. That's what I always thought, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, and like, so for me, it makes sense him winning, and it makes sense the match just happening because fuck it, it's funny.
I think you might feel differently if you actually watched it. Like, if you'd have sat through, I hear what you're saying, and I don't 100% disagree with you. Like, I do agree with, say, the Triple H sentiment on that, and I do agree that it's good for lads to win. Why not have him beat Baron Corbin, who's got a reason to fight? Like, are you protecting Baron Corbin? Is that, like, a big thing?
No,
like,
you can just do that next week.
Yeah, but, like...
Do it differently. I mean, like, you could do it, I mean, I don't know, it's just fun. Like, am I entertained? That's all I care about.
Yeah, you can have a different opinion. I'm not saying you can't, but at the same time, I just don't know. I think had you watched it and seen how pointless and throwaway it all was. See, what bothers me as well is that it's not even fucking special. I remember Ric Flair lost to Rico on Raw in an unannounced match. This was back in like 2002, 2003. This is Rico time. The Rico era. But like, I remember that happened and I was like, oh man, like, you know, like, if you're planning on pushing Rico, or if there's something there, okay, yeah, have him be Flair. I don't care. If you're going to do something with Rico, that's fair enough. But just having Flair wrestle unannounced and mean nothing and then lose is just fucking depressing because it didn't play into any kind of bigger narrative here. This was just literally, I think it was just because Kurt was there. And it's just like, do you want to wrestle? Like, it was thrown away that much. It meant it was that insignificant. They never threw back to it. Kurt Angle wrestles on Raw this week and you didn't know about it. Something's wrong there.
Not really, because there's loads of much better wrestlers on that, you know, on the roster. So him wrestling, to me, I don't see why it should be a massive deal.
Because he left for 10 years, and this is like his 5th or 6th match back.
But he wrestled Drew McIntyre recently, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, and it was at least a build-up match, and then Drew won, so I see a purpose to that.
That was actually really good. But
so I see a purpose to that, but then having them just wrestle Jinder Mahal for no reason, unannounced, I don't get it.
But there's a lot of pointless shit on Raw that's repetitive and kind of like I would never tune in to see, I don't know, I can't think of an example, like Gable and Rude versus the Revival again.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I agree, but they're not Hall of Famers. They're not Kurt Angle. Like, Kurt Angle wrestling should be a big deal. I'm just saying, that's my opinion.
So I think that's kind of where our difference is on this. It's I would see it as just, he's a wrestler on the roster, whereas other people would look at that and say, no, he's Kurt Angle, he should be, you know, held to a higher regard, kind of.
But like, I think everyone should be held to a higher regard if you can hold them to a higher regard. I don't think we should have, like, just another wrestler. I don't think any WWE superstar should be, yeah, he's just another wrestler. Now, obviously, they have to be because you can't do that with everyone, but Kurt Angle, you can do that with easily. You could sell a match with Kurt Angle. You could sell that in the main event. Not Kurt Angle, Jinder Mahal, but you could put Kurt Angle in the main event because casual fans from the Attitude Era are like, Kurt Angle still fucking wrestles, and they're still going to react that way every single week, but they can't do that if it just happens like that, unannounced, and then it's over in 5 minutes. It's just a total waste for me. I don't know, we disagree, and that's fair enough. What do you think, guys? Tweet in and we'll get your thoughts. Anyway, in at number 3, one I think we're going to agree on about OTT.
Yeah, alright, yeah, it's a disappointment, right? So when British Strong Style were announced for Scrapmania, I was buzzing, right? I think, like, if you check Twitter, I'd say a lot of people are thinking the same thing, you know what I mean? It's definitely not just me, you know, I've had loads of conversations with people who want this match. And it was announced recently, I don't know if it was this past week, did I forget to mention it on last week's show, or what? I don't know, but it was recently enough they announced that More Than Hype were not facing British Strong Style.
No.
And I'm just going to be like, I'm sure More Than Hype and The Rapture will be a great match, don't get me wrong, but I can't pretend I'm excited about it. I just can't. Like, when I was looking at that show, I was like, Walter Devlin, Ospreay, Scotty, and More Than Hype, British Strong Style. That's it. That's all I ever want to see.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, the Ospreay thing happened, and they couldn't have, like, that replacement's amazing. Liger and Scotty, that's still shit that I want to see. I'm buzzing for that.
For me, that's more. I'd put that higher than Ospreay. Not because it would be a better match or anything, like Ospreay, Scotty would have been great, but it's a novelty match. It's
it's mad.
Once in a lifetime, like, got that kind of vibe, yeah.
Genuinely, it's like one of the biggest legends in Irish wrestling taking on, like, just like, how old is Scotty Davis? You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. I think it's so cool, but this isn't the match where I'm kind of feeling the same.
No.
Because for me, it just feels like a wasted opportunity. I'm being honest. Like, I feel, are we ever going to get this match now? That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Like, British Strong Style, like, I don't know. You see, OTT, you never know. Like, the amount of times we've said, for the last 2 years, we've said, this is Pete Dunne's last appearance, man, this is so sad. And then he came back a month or two later. You don't know. You never know when it comes to OTT. But for me, if we're because think about, like, More Than Hype, they're not going to be together forever, you know what I mean? And if British Strong Style are signed and they're gone to WWE, and it's like, well, there's no guarantee we'd even get this match in WWE, you know what I mean? Are both teams going to even be together long enough for this match to happen, ever? Like, we might never ever get this match ever now. And I'm like, that's fucking sick. I feel sick even saying that. I was so looking forward to it. Because it just felt like such a nailed on match. It felt like it was definitely.
You have a popular 3-man team here, and then you've got and they're not in the title picture, and then you've got another 3-man team here.
And
of course they're going to pair it together.
It's Ireland versus the world. And it's also like, they're on this big fucking losing streak, More Than Hype. So I was like, obviously they're building to the stadium, so they'd be, they'd be British Strong
Quick
Style.
roll up,
And that's the whole story. I'm like, I get it now. But they don't have British Strong Style, so it's like, I mean, don't get me wrong, beating the Rapture would be kind of cool, but it's not. Again, it's just the disappointment completely overrules how excited I should be maybe for this match, but it's just.
I hear
what are they going to put against British Strong Style that's going to be better than More Than Hype against British Strong Style? You know what I mean? Are we going to get the Kings again? Like, look, that's a good match, but it happened twice. You know what I mean?
I think once in the stadium as well, didn't they?
Once was.
Do I remember Corbin?
No, it was the Rhodes Scrapmania in the Tivoli, and it was in Belfast. It was after a stadium show, I think.
Yeah.
Again, great matches, but I wanted More Than Hype, and I don't like. Can you think like they might fix it. They might put someone against British Strong Style, or maybe split up, like maybe do Pete Dunne versus.
No, I think they're being booked as a trio.
Oh, they're being booked as a trio?
I think so.
That would make more, yeah.
They were announced as a trio, so it'd be weird not to.
Who, like, well, Martina. It won't be Martina. Who, Angel, no, it's not the Angel Cruisers, would it?
The rematch?
Oh!
No, leave that there. Leave that. That's perfect. Don't mess with perfection.
Like, that'd be fun, but even still,
no, that's like, they're feuding with Justy and Team Prick. That they do tend to leave feuds behind sometimes at the stadium shows.
But even if that match would take place, it's like, that's not better than More Than Hype versus British Strong Style. You know what I mean?
No, I totally agree.
I rarely complain about, booking decisions and stuff. It's not really my kind of thing, but that's how much this pissed me off.
Yeah.
Like, I was so, like, just, it hasn't left me. Because now I look at the stadium show and the thing that I was recording that technically wasn't announced and I shouldn't have been, but at the same time it would have made sense. And it's, now whenever I look at the poster, I'm like, right, Walter Devlin, that's still going to be amazing, but, just that one part of the show is just,
I totally get it. It's a missed opportunity.
It's
like something. It's like that. The heat for that match, like, and the amount that they do, like, even with a stadium crowd, if you're like, they're not going to know More Than Hype, they fucking will by the end of that match. And there you go. If you've got even if British Strong Style won, like, it's like, think of what the British Strong Style match meant for Legit 100. Do you remember they had that match against them? And like that that put them on the map. So it's like, and maybe that could be somewhat of the logic to play devil's advocate. I might call Joe the devil. No, to play devil's advocate. Maybe that could be the logic. It's like we've done that exact match that would be like before with British Strong Style. Maybe use it for something else. But I do share that where it's like, yes, I'm trying to do the match in my head, and I'm like, More Than Hype, I think they all are going to get signed. I'd love if they got signed together as a trio. It'd be fantastic. But even in the unlikely event that all three of them got signed at the same time, you're talking like probably 3-4 years away realistically, because like they're only starting to get booked in ICW and the feeder promotions now. And are British Strong Style still going to be a thing in 3-4 years? Probably not. Like WWE, they have to mix it up a lot. They might all be employed by WWE. And then.
Even if it did happen in WWE, we'll say, right? Like,
it wouldn't be as good.
Hypothetically speaking, well, it wouldn't. Do you know what I mean? It'd be in front of. Well, no, it's hard to predict. No, I won't. You know what I mean? Like, because a year, so much can happen in 1 year. You don't know.
More Than Hype aren't going to mean as much, like, and as fervently. And people, and even British Strong Style don't have the same impassioned reactions in NXT UK as they would in that stadium on that night. Yeah. There's just this dream match. I totally feel it and I totally share it. But look, as well, I'm going Scrapper, you're going Scrapper.
Oh, I'm still
It's going to be a great night. So, like, let's give them a chance to see what they do come up with. Maybe we'll end up saying, you know what, that was actually the right call.
It'll probably still be a fucking great show just for the main event alone,
yeah,
as well as Scotty Liger. And yeah, I mean, it's something to be two. I wouldn't protest over it, you know what I mean? But like, I don't know, a bit of a disappointment.
No, I totally share it, and I think a lot of people out there will as well. So in at number 2, let's talk about one from SmackDown Live. R-Truth is still the US champion there. Whatever, I didn't actually hate it. I was like, you know, you're giving him kind of a thank you for all the work he's putting in. It's great. But we've spoken about this before, how there's this perfect, like, mid-card kind of scene that's emerging on SmackDown every week. It's like something that we're talking about, and this is awesome. Andrade, Rey Mysterio, then you have Samoa Joe, Mustafa Ali was involved for a while. You have this great mid-card that's just there and dying for kind of like a title belt for a reason for them to feud over. This week, R-Truth came out and he's like, I'm bringing now this was funny, and don't get me wrong, I'm not hating on R-Truth here because I do actually find him entertaining. Comes out and he's like, you know, when I was a little kid there was one wrestler I looked up to more than any other, John Cena. And it was like, you were a world champion when John Cena debuted. So I'm going to honor my childhood hero, and I'm going to bring back the US Open Challenge. Andrade answers. You're like, oh, they're doing it. Then Mysterio comes out while Andrade's music is still playing, interrupts, punches Andrade, runs to the ring first, and then you're like, and then they eventually make it a triple threat. So you're like, finally, they're going to put a belt around this feud and just give us something. Whereas with R-Truth, there's no one, there's nothing there. He's doing the Open Challenge because there are no opponents for him. So you're like, brilliant. You have a division ready-made for something like this, and R-Truth won with a roll-up. And you're just like, what? Why? Like, why would you choose? Why would you knock off 2 contenders that are ready and waiting for this exact moment, and people are actually, like, they're main eventing Smack. I think they main evented a few weeks ago. Like, at least they're getting everyone talking about SmackDown, and they're making names for themselves. Put a belt on that. It's there waiting. It's such an easy option that they just went left for no reason and just kept on R-Truth. You've given R-Truth his thank you. Like, you can still have him do exactly what he does without the belt, but you can add so much by putting the belt on it. Again, this is one of those things, kind of like the last point, which they could write it by having basically a rematch at the next pay-per-view. Like, somehow it's like, oh, my foot was under the rope or something. I don't think it was, but, like, they could do something like that and then still have this, like, Rey Mysterio and Andrade at Mania or something like that. But it just feels like if that's not going to happen, that was an absolute waste, and I'm pretty pissed off with it, yeah. So, in at number 1, one from Raw, which we've kind of been building to for the past few weeks. I like the idea of a moment in bliss. I think Alexa is a good person to have that as well. I don't think we've ever had a women's chat show in the same way as Miz TV and the Highlight Reel and Piper's Pit and stuff like that. So I'm like, Alexa is actually the perfect person for that. She'd be really good. She'd like get all the little intricacies. Like the reason the Miz is great at Miz TV is because he gets all the little chat show intricacies where he's like, you know, trying to put himself over, trying to put the guests over, but he's also a bit of a wanker, so he'll throw them under the bus. That's what works in these chat shows, and Alexa Bliss is perfect for her. That's not the way they're going with it, though. We spoke about some of the weird moments they've had on it. And it all started, remember, with that one weird moment on Raw where someone walked into her changing room naked. She's like, what are you doing here? Get out. And it's like, why are you doing that way, Alexa? You don't need to. Alexa has so much to offer. You don't need to make her a piece of eye candy. What they've done is even weirder. We spoke about a few weeks ago how her and EC3 were just flirting the entire time. And she's like, oh, but you're so pretty. And EC3's like, well, he doesn't speak, so he said nothing, but he just smiled. She had Finn Balor on this week, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is another cool pairing that they're doing. And then the entire time was, ooh, that title belt around your waist looks real pretty, but your abs look better. Tell you what, if you take off your title belt and show me those abs, I'll show you. And then she got cut off, and it's like, why are you making Alexa into Harvey fucking Weinstein? Why is she a total creep that's abusing her power?
I will say one sort of redeeming thing about this whole segment is how fucking funny the reaction was to Lio Rush coming out. It was like grown men in the crowd were like, no! Like proper crying, like with fucking kids around them all like, no!
Which is a damning indictment on wrestling fans. It's like, come on, lads, seriously, you know, you have porn up on your phones. Like, come on here. Like, seriously, there's probably a look-alike of Alexa Bliss on there where that you can look up. It was actually funny afterwards where they like agreed. Did you see this? They agreed to have a match, and then Leo Rush is like, Finn coaxed him into having a match for the IC title, and Leo Rush is like, no, it's Lashley that should be getting it, and he's like, oh, what, you scared? So Leo's like, alright, I'll have a match with you, just let me go to the back and like get ready for it. And then Alexa's like, no, you're having it right now. And then Leo's just like, can I get theme music? And then he has to contrive an entrance. It was really charismatic. But again, Alexa, you're so much there to work with. She does not need to be Harvey Weinstein. She does not need to be creepy. And she's gorgeous. Alexa would not act that way. The person that we've known as well would be like, I'm too good for you. I don't need to, you know what I mean? It's a betrayal of her character, and it's really annoying because she's capable of so much more. You don't need to waste her that way. Anyway, they're the things that wound us up for this week. Let's talk about the things that made us happy this week. And one very special one for Corporate Cian as well, because, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for... Alright, this isn't the one I was talking about when I was talking about the special one for Corporate Cian. That's something else, which is...
Oh, I see it now.
First up, in the number 5, one from Ring of Honor. Something else that made you happy.
So special, man. This, like, made my life. This was like, it just, when you talk about the greatest moments of all time.
It's number 5 on this week.
I was watching Ring of Honor, and I love factions, yeah? Ring of Honor debuted a new faction. And for me, it's something different, because ever since... Even when the Elite were there, I wasn't a big fan of Ring of Honor because it was just other people's shit on Ring of Honor, and it just wasn't that exciting. But they did a new thing. So they signed a lot of wrestlers. That's been known for a while now, you know, like Mark Haskins, Tracy Williams, Bandito, and all them.
Yeah.
And they basically all got put into a faction. And it's a faction led by Juice Robinson, right? So I'll list it out for you. Haskins, Tracy Williams, Bandito, Juice, Tennille Dashwood, and Finley's son.
Ooh, David Finley.
Yes.
Yeah.
The other Dave Finley. Yeah. Great faction. Love it. And the whole idea behind it is that Jay Lethal's coming out and he's like, we need people who can restore the honor and Ring of Honor. And Juice is like, you know, that's what we're going to do. And it's our faction. And it's like they're ultra baby faces. They're super, super, super baby faces.
Did they all come on when they come out from the curtain?
They don't even need to, because it's just like, they are... It's like having a team of superheroes or something like that. It's like, it's over the top babyface, but it's good though.
I enjoy that.
And I'm intrigued by it because it's like, someone's going to have to turn heel. Someone's going to betray it.
Yeah,
you know, someone's going to betray it. But I'm like, because it's a big faction, there's 6 of them, and I love that because it adds depth to it. It's like, if there was only like 2 or 3, I'd be like, alright, well, it's another trio for the titles, whatever. But this is like, out of 6, is one person going to turn heel later on? Will it be like 3 that'll break off into their own group? Will it be, you know, like, are they gonna stay? Are they gonna win all the gold together? Are they gonna do this? Are they gonna do that? And I'm like, I'm now more intrigued in Ring of Honor than I think I've ever actually been.
Oh,
no, the bar is low. I've never been a big Ring of Honor fan, but I'm like, now I'm like, I can't wait to watch next week and just see, you know, if they do anything. They probably won't. Ring of Honor's TV setup is really weird, and things don't happen on a kind of like a week-to-week basis like they would with Impact or other shows.
Right.
But still, you know, I'm intrigued, and I'm looking forward to see what they do with it. And yeah, I'll keep you updated, I suppose.
It's a good time to get invested in Ring of Honor because they have the Madison Square Garden show coming up. So they seem to be sucking diesel just entering into that season. So that's positive to hear, especially because we're going to be showing a Ring of Honor show in Buskers. In at number 4, first one from Raw, not the one you're thinking of, the other one. Yeah, and the only reason this is low is, and I would have loved for this, like, if they'd have done this right, in any other week it would have been number 1, but they just kind of messed it up. Corbin Nicholas joined us. There you go, surprise.
This is literally like a surprise entrance. I didn't even know she was coming. That's not a joke. I didn't know she was coming.
That's way better than Jeff Jarrett. That is way better than Jeff Jarrett.
You'll listen to this later and you'll understand that reference. Nicholas way better.
What's that? You can sit in Katie's seat.
You can sit in Katie's seat because you already did it before where you disrespected her.
Yeah, and she's back now, so it's not a we're not leaving it there, and Keane's just sitting there at it. All right.
She actually left when she heard you coming in. She's actually here, and she was like, yeah.
Yeah, so where were we? Yeah. I'd love it if they did this a different way, where they let us have the feelings that we're going to have. But Batista came back on Raw this week, and they did the Ric Flair birthday special and stuff like that. I like how, that ended with, it's all building up to Ric Flair. Here's the thing as well, and I'll explain more about how I watched Raw later. I knew this was ending because I was watching it online, so I knew it was ending in 2 minutes, and I'm like, Ric Flair is not going to be able to do a promo in 2 minutes because I didn't get spoiled. And then all of a sudden you go back, they announce him and he's coming out, and it's like, how is this going to be 2 minutes long? And then you have, you just see Batista, but you don't even see him. The camera's running backstage, you just see a side profile, you're like, what the fuck? That's fucking Batista, oh my god! Because you were thinking of it where's Orton and Batista? They've no Evolution references here, but whatever, fine, WWE, I know these things can be on the hop sometimes. And then he drags Ric Flair out and calls out Triple H. And it's weird because people popped huge to see him because we love Batista. We've seen Guardians since, we've seen how good of an actor he is, we've seen that he's a cool guy in general. The whole fucking Disney thing, on Twitter and stuff like that, sticking it to Disney. We love Batista now. He's an absolute boss, so we're delighted to see him. But then they drag Flair out, and the crowd are like, it is Batista, but he's dragging Flair. They're like, just kind of, they don't know how to feel. It was really weird. And then he calls out Triple H. But this is why it's low on. This is awesome, because it's just Triple H then runs to the back, and it's like, why is Triple H the face? Nobody wants this. Nobody wants to cheer Triple H over Batista. We want to see Batista kick the shit out of Triple H. We want to see a 5-minute match at WrestleMania where Batista absolutely destroys him. That's what I want. I want to cheer for Big Dave. But they didn't give me that. They did give me a comeback, and he was boss in what he had to do, where he's like, what do you say? Have I got your attention now? And it's like, But
then he just goes, Sounds a bit random, but I will say my favourite part about this whole segment was going into college the next day and telling my wrestling friend in there, David, right, about what happened, because he didn't actually know anything about Raw that happened the previous night, besides the Roman Reigns thing. He knew nothing about it, and it was like, so I was like, "Did you know what happened to the Ric Flair thing?" He's like, "No, what happened?" And I was like, "Okay, well," and I described the whole segment to him, and then I was like, "So he's out backstage, and guess who attacked him?" And I was like, "But for Becky," he was like, "But Batista," and the look on his face, it was like, this is a fucking podcast, so you can't see me, but it was like the most shocked, but also very happy face, because it's like, I think everyone my age would surely look at Batista as a childhood hero. You know what I mean? Batista is the fucking, even a bit older, you know what I mean? Batista's the fucking man. Yeah. So he goes back and it's just like, yes. He's 50 though, do you know that? What? Yeah.
He's not 50.
He's 50.
Fuck, Jesus Christ. I hope I'm 10% that when I'm 50. I'm not 10% that 20 years younger, I don't fancy my chances.
Even at 50, I want him to be a fucking, regular to come back. Do you know what I mean? I want him, that to me, because I want to cheer Batista, but at the same time, if he's only going to have this one match and then not come back, then technically I'd want Triple H to win, but I really want Batista to win because I like Batista. I know.
Just let him be fucking awesome. I'm
looking forward. This is gonna be great though. I'm looking forward to it. Exactly,
and it is. I'm a big Batista fan. My first ever pro wrestling column that I wrote when I was 13 and got published online was me pitching to have Batista versus Bull Buchanan main event WrestleMania.
That's the most. Are you sure you weren't?
This is when he was Deacon Batista, and I was just that he was my Eric Rowan. He was my Eric Rowan come good.
I love Bull Buchanan as well though.
Imagine Eric Rowan was in a Marvel movie 10 years from now.
Oh man, Eric Rowan. I mean, think about it. There's a 14-year gap between the two. You never know.
This is it. Exactly. They have to go into stage 5 sometime.
Do you know why I'm busting for this match? Because if it was Triple H versus Dean Ambrose or Triple H versus a young lad like he was with Roman and Seth, it's he's going to lose because he's against some young up and coming guy. Whereas with this, they're both old, so it's there's as much in it for either of them. You don't know who's going to win. So you're
a lot of people are giving out as well, and it's just damned if they do, damned if they don't. When Batista came back and was kind of in the Daniel Bryan feud a few years ago, people are like, no, he's only a part-timer, we want to see Daniel Bryan. But then people are giving out online saying, no, I want to see him work with the current generation, not Triple H. And it's what do you want? I like the way they put the part-timers with the part-timers now, because it's you're not taking away from anything. Exactly. The other guys still get to do their feuds at WrestleMania.
I like as long as it's good, you know what I mean? And this is good. And for me,
Triple H last year with Angle and Rousey, that worked out.
Yeah, I loved But the argument there would be that Ronda was new and that she would have benefited from it.
Yeah.
But for me, it's like, a lot of people wanted to see him against Ciampa. And I'm like, but then Ciampa's obviously winning, and it's like
that'd never happen. Also,
and it's just like what, like but it's WrestleMania. You have to think from look at the bigger picture. Like the whole point of WrestleMania is, if your non-wrestling friends aren't tagging you in articles from The Sun or some shit talking about WrestleMania, then WWE haven't done their job. The whole point is that this is what grabs the attention of like non-wrestling fans. That's why we have SummerSlam. SummerSlam is WrestleMania for us, where they give you kind of the cool matches that you wanted to see at Mania. It's like Shawn Michaels, Hulk Hogan. That's a weird first match for me to pick, but like CM Punk against Brock and stuff like that, where it's like, ooh, Daniel Bryan and John Cena, that kind of thing. Where it's like different. It's like was it at the last one you had Ronda Rousey? That was the big star. And the one before that, you had fucking the Hardys returning and Undertaker retiring. I was tagging that about 7 times, as if they don't respect the spoiler rule. But you know what I mean, like, but also as if like I wouldn't have already seen it. Like, but that's the point. They don't know because they're not wrestling fans. They're not in the bubble. So it's like that's the side. But it's an incredible insight for me when I'm tagging shit like that. It's like, right, WWE have done their job then.
Batista Triple H is like, that's going to bring in a lot of people.
Everyone knows Batista Triple H. Anyone who liked wrestling as a kid.
Oh, Batista's going to bring in so much now because the garbage. I'm just laughing away to myself here, thinking of like Rowan in Stage 5 Marvel movies, like just banter of Black Panther. Like, just who knows? Who knows?
You never know.
We never would have thought Batista would have been in that situation. So who knows? Maybe one day. In at number, speaking of Rowan, he's involved somewhat at number 3, SmackDown Live. They did a thing. They basically just repeat. It's one of these things, and we always bring this up on Low Blows, where they do something on Raw and they're like, that was cool, let's do it on SmackDown. They did basically the exact same thing with the Daniel Bryan Kofi Kingston match, where they're all like, this is going to be the best match ever. Then Vince McMahon comes out and he's like, this match isn't good enough for me. Sorry, Kofi, thanks for your efforts, but it's not box office. We're going to bring back Kevin Owens, and that's fucking class as well, like the way Owens got put into it. And there's Eric Rowan was involved too. But yeah, no, it was great to see Kevin Owens back. Coming back as like, I love the way they're using him as well, like coming back as kind of a babyface, but a do you trust him babyface. Like he set up a tag match later in the night. It was going to be him teaming with Kofi, because as he pitched to Shane and Stephanie in the back, he's like, look, I want to give him a shot anyway, you know, against Bryan and Rowan later. And ended up winning with his new finisher, by the looks of things, the Stone Cold Stunner. Fucking awesome. Because, like, for those who don't know the Kevin Owens story, like, he was interviewed on the Steve Austin podcast, which I remember listening to shortly before he was signed. And Austin basically just, the last 20 minutes of it, go back and listen to it. It's a great interview, if you never heard it before. Austin spent the last 20 minutes basically just giving him advice. And Owens just, like, it's one of those cool interviews where, like, wrestlers will never admit to wrestlers that they're marks for them until they get to a certain stage. We just happened to get to hear this stage because the mics were on. And Owens is basically, Austin's advising him, and Owens is like, yo, man, I was such a big fan back in the day. And Austin's like, run your mouth. Keep running your mouth. Never stop talking. You have got what I had in 1997, so do that. Just do it. If they tell you not to do it, just do it anyway. And Owens has taken that, and that's why he's so great in the mic. Owens wouldn't have been someone before all of that you'd have known for being great on the mic. He was more just awesome in the ring and a bit of a killer. Like, kind of the way Samoa Joe has improved in WWE on the mic, Kevin Owens is a very similar evolution, but it goes under the radar because we're just used to him being awesome. But that's where it comes from. So him doing the Stunner is such an awesome shout out. It's great. He put out a tweet today as well, because he's tried it a few times and it's botched, and he's like, I finally learned how to do it, Steve. And it was awesome as well. Straight after that, WWE are like, they got a big pop for the Dave Bautista thing, so they're like, returns are a thing. NXT call-ups were a thing last week, returns are a thing, because like they're doing this whole we're WWE and we have to be good now thing, which is like why we sacked all the GMs and stopped them messing around. But they're doing stunts every week. But as long as they keep the stunts coming, I'm okay with it. Matt Hardy returned as part of the Hardy Boys out of nowhere, in great shape. Wrestled the Bar, they won. Not sure how we feel about the Bar being used as the team to get other teams over, because remember they lost to DIY as well last week. The Bar are better than that, like, but It was a pop. It was cool. It was unexpected. I love the tweet that I saw. I don't know if you guys saw it today. It was like, you've got to respect Matt Hardy. He pretended to retire just to get the fuck away from Bray Wyatt. But great to see him back. Genuine surprise, and it was really cool for SmackDown. Anyway, that's what made me happy. Corporate Cian, what made you happy in wrestling this week?
You want to know what made me happy in wrestling this week? Phoenix Wrestling made me happy this week because they picked up the scraps of they turned what was a fucking horrible experience into one of the best experiences ever, right? Ever since I was like, I don't even know how young, yeah? I wanted to be a GM. I just thought it was like the coolest job ever. You got to come out and like book matches and shit, yeah? And they gave me the opportunity for one night only to be a GM, and oh my fuck. Right, so you know what I'm like in front of the crowds. Oh man, it's the scariest shit. If I have to do a presentation in college in front of 7 people, my stomach twists and twists and twists to the point where I'm almost getting sick with nerves, and it's hell. But I was like, fuck it, I have to do it. They were saying, you know, and this is kind of the general thing, no one really expected a big crowd. So the plan, you know, most people expected like 20, 30, 40 people to be there or whatever. There was like 120 in the end. Mad numbers when you think about the circumstances.
2 days notice.
Yeah, and fucking a great venue as well. Shout out to the Circus Factory, fucking amazing. But and the crowd, they were really nice as well. They were like a great crowd to be nervous in front of, because I had a lot of friends in there, and but overall it was just a real kind of friendly crowd.
A lot of people travelled as well, though.
Yeah,
and they knew the story of what went into the show, which is great. Like, it helps you as well when you're getting up.
Yeah, and so basically what happened was, so you've seen none of this, I'm assuming, no?
I've only seen what's been released on Twitter, and I was like hockey in Twitter because I was raging. I was telling Cian beforehand I was annoying everyone to try go.
You would have popped for this.
Go on.
Big time, right? So Marion came out to cut a promo, a thank you promo basically for everyone that showed up.
Yeah.
When Alexander Dean and that fucking dickhead cunt fucking Butch Armstrong, right? Little traitorous piece of shit snake, fucking right. The two of them came out, and they started bullying Marion. So you know what I did, yeah? I was like, I'm having none of this. I was sitting kind of a walk away, like near where the door was, next to Marie and Adam. And I was like, you know what? This isn't right. So I stood up. I was like, this is bullshit. Stood up, marched down to that ring, yeah? Got up onto the apron, and I was like... Dean actually looked at me and was like, what the fuck is this? Don't shit yourself. And immediately I shat myself. But I grabbed the mic off Butch, and I was like, you two are taking advantage of Marion Armstrong in a 2-on-1 situation. So let's make this a tag team match, player. And I got to bring out Billy Bedlam, and it was Marion and Billy versus Dean and Butch, and Marion and Billy won, and it was fucking amazing. So fucking good. And then I had to go in and explain the rules of the Floodgate match, which is no easy feat when you think about it, which was shit scary. Yeah. But I went in, and I got a daily reaction, man. It was like people chanting for me and all. And like one little thing that I loved was at the Floodgate match when Marie grabbed the mic and was like, the following match is the Floodgate match, and people cheered. It was like they announced the Rumble or something. I was like, oh Jesus, because in the back of my head I'm like, this is a fucking disaster. What have I done? But then I'm hearing the reaction. I'm like, well, fuck it. You know what I mean? People obviously wanted to see it. Then. But let me just some of the stuff, like,
there was a huge outcry like for that. Like, people on Twitter were like coming out after
it was like the one big loss of the whole thing.
Yeah, people were like, I need to see a Floodgate match. Like, so awesome they could do it.
People were making bidding wars. I'm sorry. I mean, you know what? Like, if Katie did offer me a load of Pringles, and I said no, because Phoenix obviously outbid her, and they outbid everyone that wanted to give me the Pringles. But if Fight Factory wanted to use this, I love Fight Factory. Go for it.
Yeah, it's out there now. Like, you've made a match. This is it.
And even if I didn't give Fight Factory my permission, they could just call it the Flood Grill match, or you know when like someone steals like a fucking trademark.
Let's call a spade a spade. You're not going to be able to sue them, so they can call it a Floodgate.
Well, I mean, you never know. I mean,
like, you're getting paid in Pringles here.
Oh, yeah, that's yeah, out of court settlement would be like, I'll be suing for like millions. It's like they actually had an out of court settlement. What was it? 2 Pringles. Like, all right.
Yeah, you should just offer them this at the start.
2 Pringles and like a free ticket to the next episode. We're cool. We're cool. Yeah, so but there's a couple of things I love from that show. First of all, I loved how the Courage lads got a chance to they got a chance to wrestle on a show that they wouldn't otherwise be booked on, and it resulted in one case of them getting booked again.
Nice.
in case you didn't see, Club Rock Shandy are against Rough Stuff in Limerick, and I cannot fucking wait. Love Club Rock Shandy. I think Club Rock Shandy, Nightmare Edition, CBL, I'm sorry for forgetting names. Even, like
Tucker is down there.
Tucker, yeah. Retro Galactic, like, people did really well. Like, everyone that came down from Courage, like, did fucking great. And the last 3 matches for me are matches that I really, really, really fucking loved. And they're matches that wouldn't have happened in Dublin because of the way the card was. And because it was Phoenix and because it was a new show, they were allowed, like, you know, as a GM, I was allowed to change it around. And, So the third last match was, like, as far as concepts go, my favourite. Because I love promotion versus promotion matches, right?
Right.
Love them, but we never get them. And the thing is, even in Ireland, it's kind of hard to do it because almost everyone wrestles for OTT. So, I mean, if a match takes place that's, you know, someone representing Fight Factory, for example, it's still a match that could happen in OTT, usually.
Yeah.
But, or, you know, and promotions, you know, there's rarely ever, you know, promotion versus promotion. But Andy Steele came out, and he did his... Do you know about this?
I've heard of it,
Okay. Andy Steele came out, and he did his open challenge, which he did at Courage this whole time. He did his open challenge. And Andy Steele, by the way, Andy Steele is, I would say, quite possibly the best heel in the country. Because no one cheers him. But that's the whole point of being a heel. He doesn't get enough credit for it, in my opinion.
Very underrated.
If I was looking to book a heel, I'd probably book Andy Steele on top of my list. Like, that is genuinely very underrated. But anyway,
Andy Steele is someone that, like, people need to pay attention to. And, like, he doesn't get a lot of it encouraged as this big kind of platform, but, like, he is very underrated.
I would love to see him in Fight Factory more.
Yeah,
that's what I want to see.
It was great to see him on Fight Factory, like, as well. But he's even someone that, like, you know, within a while could be knocking on the door of OTT because he's got a great look, can work the mic, good in the ring too. Like, he's got a lot to offer, and he's someone that I think we were like, right, this could be someone that we could work with when we were looking at working in Courage.
But he did the open challenge anyway. Yeah. And by the way, he got Jimmy Carr chance, and that like very, very, very loud Jimmy Carr chance. And I was only sitting there watching it, I was like, holy shit. He does look like Jimmy Carr. And now I can't unsee it. Fuck's sake. But what happened was, the person who answered the open challenge was Michael May.
Yes.
And he comes out and he's like, boy, I do the fucking open challenges around here. And first of all, I love when heels turn face, even if it's just for a short period of time.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Tony Kelly, if he's listening, he's not going to like this. Michael got cheered. People loved him. People were going mad for Big Win Mick, and it was fucking great. Nice. I think just not having Tony there is enough to turn you into a good guy. As soon as Tony comes back, he's going to be like everyone's fucking most hated wrestler again. Yeah. But like, it was so cool because it was just like, this is my territory. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And I love the concept of it. And I loved how Phoenix were able to use obviously OTT lads because it's a Phoenix show, and that was shown earlier when Raven Creed faced Anita Vaughn.
Nice.
And I loved it because she was suspended, but she showed up anyway. And it was like, they addressed it on Twitter. She was like, yeah, I was suspended for a show, but not this show. So I was like, all right. I'm not going to complain.
How'd that happen as well? That was a tie into Courage. I saw that.
What?
How'd that happen? It was a tie into Courage, wasn't there? Yeah. Anita Vaughn did a challenge? For someone that was
sorry, yeah, fuck. She challenged Okada. Yeah, Okada didn't answer. He had issues getting down. Obviously, his bus broke down, so he couldn't make it.
Poor Okada, just had the worst weekend.
Yeah, it was pretty bad, alright. But I mean, I'm not even being ironic here. I prefer Raven Creed to Okada. Like,
nice.
I'm sure, like, Okada's better at a lot of things. Obviously, it's Okada, but if I'm if they were to get into a fight, who would I cheer?
You cheer Raven.
Of course I would. Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I was happy with it.
Oh, yeah.
But then we get onto the Floodgate match.
Yes.
This match was perfect for me. And it's like, whether you loved it or hated it or didn't give a fuck, I don't mind. Because all I wanted was a match that kind of matched what my vision for it was. And that's exactly what I envisioned, right? So obviously in Dublin, I said this off air, but in Dublin the plan was to have 6 people in it. Not a lot, but the whole idea was to establish the match, establish the rules, so that you could grow on it if we were to ever do it again. That did not happen in this match. It started with J Money and CBL, like two of the best people you could start it with. You know what I mean? They were in obviously our match as well.
Yeah.
And then it got bigger. I forget, the Midcard Mafia were in it. Retro Galactic were in it. Who the fuck else were in it? I can't think off the top of my head. But it was gas. Like, it was just random shit. You know, exactly as we would have planned it. You know what I mean? And then after a certain time, I think 6 or 7 people were in the ring, and Jay Money's like, you know what? Fuck this. This match is dumb. This match is stupid. Gets the mic and he's like, alright, we're going to open the floodgates for real. They're staying open, right? Whoever the fuck wants to join the match, join it now. And just he said that, fucking William comes flying out. So someone just fucks William over the curtain. He bounces off the top rope and just dies. And then Billy runs out, Marion runs out, Ballymun Bruiser's like, fuck it, might as well just chop a couple of people. Everyone, Club Rock Shandy come out. It's just a fucking, it's a beautiful disaster.
Love it.
And I loved it. And it was, again, it matched my vision. And as I was watching it, I got that cool feeling where it's like, this is all happening because I came up with this fucking dumb match that
months, nearly a year ago at this stage, me, you and Jade in old Bros HQ talking about this.
We go back with that match. And it was like, the fact that it happened is so crazy.
That's mad.
And it was really good. And also, another thing I had to say on commentary, or not on commentary, sorry, on ring announcing, I was explaining it, I had to turn around and be like, the winner gets the most prestigious prize in all of wrestling, and it's like a trophy that they give to like all the WrestleSlam fucking Battle Royale winners or whatever. Battle Royal. Why did I say Battle Royale? That's weird. Anyway, yeah, fucking, that was great. But I'm also I want to give a mention to the main event, Triple Threat. It was Tucker, Matt Skyler, and Ricky Graham, and I just loved it. And I'd love to see Tucker back in Phoenix as a regular. And that's it. It was a great show. It won't be on a VOD. You have to be there. You know what I mean? But you really did have to be there. It was a special night. It really did feel like a special night.
Excellent. I'm delighted, and I'm delighted it went well for you as well. And fair play. And look how heavily involved you were with that. It was still like your show.
It was incredible from Phoenix because they didn't have to bring me down. You know what I mean? They had no reason to bring me down. I wasn't commentating. I wasn't doing they could have just done the show, whatever. But they chose to bring me down.
You're one of their guys.
Just to be sound. And I was like, shit, it was a really, really, really fucking good night. And I love it. And if you want to see Phoenix again, Paddy's Day, Limerick, Dan fucking Barry's going to be there. It's going to be mad. Main event, Justy, Steve Savage. I'm going to promote it more in the meantime. You know, it's going to be great.
We'll come up when when we have the full card announced, we'll definitely be mentioning it. But fair play to Phoenix. Absolutely amazing stuff from the lads coming out and turning. I was listening to the Not a Bother podcast, and by the way, guys, you guys should too. It's not even a wrestling podcast for the most part. It's basically Marion Armstrong, Billy Bedlam, Matt Skyler just having the crack, and it's absolutely great. We retweeted off the Low Blows account if you're looking for it. Give them a follow on Twitter or whatnot. But I was listening to them, and they were talking about this show. Now they were taping it before the show happened. But also when they were talking about why they want to run this show, they were like, Phoenix came about from turning a negative into a positive. Last week, me and you were pretty low. It was a pretty shitty situation. We knew that this probably wasn't going to work out long term, but we wanted at least one show. A show happened, and it happened thanks to the guys. So absolute respect for them. Check out Phoenix. I love them. I love what they're doing, and long may it continue. Well done, guys. You should be very proud of yourself. But I think the important thing about that story, and the thing that makes it so heartwarming, is there was a real life element to it. That all played out in the public sphere because of us, basically, and that's what led to that show. And that's when wrestling's at its best, I think, when there is a real life element that you can get involved in and actually bite into, which takes us on to our number one moment from the week, and it can only be one. And I feel ridiculous even quantifying it, but it's top of this is awesome. It was the best moment in wrestling this week. It was absolutely fantastic. Raw started on Monday night, as you know by now, with Roman Reigns music hitting. And I want to paint a picture here. So the way I have to watch Raw is, because I watch it for the show and review it, obviously. I've gone back to the gym. So I have to get up at 5:30 on a Tuesday morning when I have to then fit in a 3-hour show throughout my day while working on top of that. So I usually watch the first part of Raw as I'm walking back from the gym. Can you see where I'm going with this? So I'm walking back, watching Roman Reigns, and it's a really cool moment. He's getting the cheers, he's getting everything basically WWE ever wanted for him, and it's all happening here and now, but it's all happening organically because of the shitty situation that led to it. But whatever, we're here. Let's not and we're at that stage where it's do you remember with John Cena where everyone's boo, Cena sucks, this, that, the other, but then eventually we get into a stage with Cena where we're we love him really, he's ours, if a non-wrestling fan slagged John Cena, we'd be like, fuck you! Only I may slag him. And it was the same with Roman Reigns, where we're like, we all know your class. Like, it's not about you. It's about, we're kind of just like giving out because the way WWE are doing it. It's not you, but your class. But we can't say that. That was the way it was with Reigns for years. But now it's like we've got to the stage where we're like, we love you, dude. Like, you know, you've been here and you've put on great matches and blah, blah, blah. And as I'm walking home from the gym, when he got to the announcement that he was in remission, I'm in remission, y'all, and then the real cheers from the crowd, the real screams of joy, it broke me as I'm walking down a road. I'm watching it on my phone and I genuinely started crying, like, because I was like, this is fucking amazing. Like, this is just like it wasn't just a pop, it wasn't just like, yeah, it was like, fucking yes, and it was for a real life thing as well. It was for something that, like, is like, this is fucking amazing. In this short amount of time, we didn't think we'd get it. We were arguing last week.
Yeah, I was thinking, I literally, one of the first things I realised that, like, remember we said something like, you were like, oh, he'll be back in a year wrestling. I was like, no, he won't be back in a year. That's mad.
Yeah.
Man, oh, it's so
He was back the next Monday, like, on Raw. It was mental. And then, later on in the night, Ambrose is getting the shit kicked out of him by the lads, Lashley and that whole... The lads that basically are, like, a stag do who made good friends, and then they just decided, you know what? Let's be real life friends too, and they just stay together, like, because they're not a stable, like, they don't have much in common except they're just big evil lads. But it's just like, no, we're gonna be friends. There's nothing you can do to stop us. Drew McIntyre, all those lads, and then Rollins' music hits, and it's like, oh fuck, and I forgot, or it didn't come into my head that I might see Reigns wrestling, even though the segment beforehand, Rollins was like, I'm so happy to see Roman back. We're just gonna crack a can here, and then Ambrose getting beaten up. Rollins' music hits, and I'm like, oh, they mentioned that last week, like, that there might be a comeback, and then all of a sudden Reigns' music hits, and it's like, comes out, Superman punches to everyone. It was like perfect. And then at the end of it all, Rollins hits the curb stomp, Reigns turns around, looks to the crowd, and then does his pose, and then it's like, ooh, and the whole crowd just went fucking mental.
Deafening. That's where I cried.
It was.
Everyone's fine, like, everyone's just in, oh man.
It was beautiful. It was genuinely beautiful. I wouldn't mind if they went back to kind of a Kurt Angle way of being like, you know, where they kind of boo him, but like, you know, you're in on the job. We do love you, but like, you know, you suck. I wouldn't mind if they went back to that. But to have that moment is absolutely amazing. We've got Corbin Nicola here. That
I was going to say, Nicola, is there anything
a very real moment for you?
Are you a Roman Reigns fan? I think you're a Roman Reigns fan. You like him?
Into the mic. She's literally wearing.
Nicola is currently wearing. She's only casual
and a pendant as well, like, for good measure.
Just a casual.
Talk to us on the mic.
I basically cried for like a day and a half. Like, no joke, just completely. Like, when I heard that he was going to be coming back onto the Raw, I was like, I'm staying up for that. Like, I don't care. Like, I'd already made the decision to stay up for every Raw until Dean leaves.
Right.
Because I wanted to see what they were doing with him.
Yeah.
And then I heard about Roman, and I was like, well, like, I'm drinking about 8 cans of Monster for this. I'm staying up. And then I found out that it was going to be the first thing. So, like, when they had the Then Now for Everything, I was starting to shake already. And then his music hit, and I just immediately started bawling. And I basically cried throughout the entire thing. But I was messaging Alex at the time, so I was like, I have to stop crying and stop shaking so I can actually reply to him.
Yeah.
So I'd kind of calmed down. And then he said, I'm in remission, y'all, and I was gone. I was hysterical. Yeah. Like, I'm surprised I didn't wake up my parents. I woke up my dog, though, and he thought I was upset, so he came over to me, and I just started bawling again. I was just, like, I wasn't expecting that at all. Yeah. I thought it was just going to be, hey, I'm doing good, I'll be back in like a year.
Yeah.
You know, and then he's like, I'm back now.
Yeah, and then later to get that, like, that's the thing.
Exactly.
We're like, when you say back, like, is this, you know, will we see you the Raw after WrestleMania? Will we see you maybe for SummerSlam? And then it's like, we're getting it tonight? We're getting it now? What?
Oh my God, it was amazing. But like, what I kind of loved was the fact that even though him and Seth came out to save Dean, they didn't go near him. Yeah. They didn't check on him. They didn't even look at him until they were already back up on the stage. Yeah. And I love that because they're like, you're a brother, we'll protect you, but fuck you for what you said.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And I love that so much because I'm like, is Dean going to have to apologise now?
Yeah.
Which, by the way, if he does, it's going completely against the merch they made him bring out. Never apologise. Worst T-shirt ever.
Nice.
I still bought it though.
Nice. It was amazing, and it was a beautiful, emotional moment in an emotional week for us here at Low Blow. So nice, happy ending. Anyway, guys, now let the talk begin. Will we get a Shield match at WrestleMania? Who knows? Like, it looks like that. Imagine Dean's last match was a Shield match at WrestleMania. Nicola's going to go again. She's actually going to go again. Right, guys, we have to get to this because we're just a few weeks away from this. Are you okay?
For the first time ever in Ireland, Buskers on the Ball becomes the pub that never sleeps as Low Blows presents our first ever WrestleMania weekend. The only way to experience WrestleMania if you can't be in New York. Starting on Saturday, 7th of April, NXT x NJPW. We screen NXT Blacklist in full from 9 p.m. Then aired at New Japan and Ring of Honor G1 Supercard in Madison Square Garden live and in full. Sunday, 8th of April, our annual WrestleMania party from 8 p.m. Pre-show entertainment including our Hall of Fame ceremony, retro gaming contests, and the second annual Pool Mania. Then, watch WWE WrestleMania 35 live and in full in an amazing atmosphere. No Temple Bar prices on booze and full food menu available both nights. Weekend passes or individual night passes now available on eventbrite.ie or free including a table to €8 subscribers at patreon.com/#lowblows. Table bookings automated via Eventbrite, so book early to guarantee a table. Celebrate Becky Lynch finishing the job she started at the Royal Rumble in style with a packed Irish crowd in Buskers on the Ball. Low Blows. For 8 years, redefining fandom.
Guys, as we announced on our social media this weekend, and we mentioned it last week as well, we will be doing, like every year, Low Blows. It's basically, and I'm not just bragging here and saying this, it's like become, for my money, the best WrestleMania party in the world. It's the one we've been ripped off in like UK, Japan, fucking America. Now everyone's doing all these things, and our big thing is our WrestleMania parties. That's what we became known for. That's what we're known for. So that's actually a fairly ominous situation where it's like, what do we do this year? And there was only one thing that I've wanted to do. Now, we usually start planning our WrestleMania parties pretty much as soon as the last WrestleMania party ends. We start getting planning going. But this time last year, I was like, man, WrestleMania just isn't a one-night thing. It's like a whole fucking festival. It's a weekend now. Everyone's getting their Fight TV subscription and watching all the shows and stuff like that. I'd love if we could do kind of a weekend here, if there's something like that. That was always kind of my dream, if we could maybe tie in with an Irish wrestling promotion or something like that. It'd be absolutely class. Like, so how could we do that? Well, we figured it out, guys, because for the first time ever in a few weeks, we will present the first ever WrestleMania weekend in Buskers on the Ball, the pub that never sleeps. The first time ever, we will have 2 nights for WrestleMania. On Saturday night, we will have NXT x NJPW, and just announced for that, you mightn't have seen this yet because it was announced at TV tapings, NXT Blacklist in New York is going to have Walter against Pete Dunne on it. Nicola's lifetime marking out. Give her that mic. Give her that mic.
That's going to be fucking incredible. Holy shit.
Yes.
Oh my god. Walter puts on like some of the best matches I've ever seen. That's going to be amazing.
There you go. Real time marking out there.
It's also like with a crowd that are like going to give a shit about it. You know
in
what
New
I mean?
York.
Like, it's a global crowd.
Yeah.
So it's going to be fun.
Amazing. It's going to be amazing. We will have NXT Blacklist air in full from 9 p.m. Originally, the plan for this, when they were doing head-to-head, we were going to do one bar was NXT, one bar was New Japan, and you had to choose. Now, we'd have the other one on in somewhere, but like you have to pick your thing. But now it actually works better because they're doing it on separate nights. So NXT is going to be a bit of a no spoiler type deal where we air that from 9 o'clock, and then we're going to have the full New Japan versus Ring of Honor show in Madison Square Garden air live and in full. That is before our WrestleMania party on Sunday with pre-show entertainment, which will be announcing as the weeks go on. We've got like 6 weeks left. We will be having that from 8 p.m. You can now get tickets. You can get either a weekend pass for just a tenner on Eventbrite.ie, or you can get passes to the individual nights if you want to go either the Saturday or the Sunday. Book your time off work now, guys. We say this every year. 8th of April, that's the time you're booking off work, college, whatever you need to do. Get on it. You can get a table as well reserved automatically for 2+ people, or all of that is free with a table included if you're a subscriber for €8 or more at patreon.com/#lowblows. So get on that, guys. It's going to be fucking amazing. We cannot wait. Anyway, without Katie here, no Queen versus Cian this week. That will be back next week as Corporate Cian tries to pull back from 3 behind, which it did temporarily last week, and then you lost the second quiz. So
I don't even know why we did 2 challenges in one. That was some bullshit. Absolute shit. Caught me way off guard.
Because one was a forfeit. It's not fair. But until then, Corporate Cian, you released one of possibly my favourite video you've ever done. It was hilarious, but it was also really nice. Tell the people what you did. In a weird way, like.
I showed my mum about 30 or 40 pictures of people. And she had to guess if these people were wrestlers or porn stars. Just by that one picture alone. But they were all wrestlers. And she's not a wrestling fan. And it was great.
It was adorable. Like, I think it was really one of those where it's like, oh yeah, I never thought about how Corporate Cian's mom would like talk her out like that. I never thought about that. And like your relationship with her is lovely as well. It was really nice, like, but also hilarious. So check that out. It's all over Twitter. Like it's all over my timeline. So you've blown up. So hopefully the hits are good. You can subscribe and get that for free on YouTube. Subscribe to Corporate Cian's channel. We'll be back next week, Rick. The return of Katie Harvey, the second return, the one which is a bit anticlimactic because she's just away for family reasons this week, and now she's just back. I don't think she has cast anymore either, so
what?
I know we've missed out on like so
bollocks.
many jokes. Like, yeah, don't worry. She's got like
she's still look injured.
She's got weird elbows now. Yeah, she put it up on Instagram. She's got no point in her elbow. She's just got like her elbows are C-shaped now. So there you go. You'll be fine for jokes.
Yeah, no, but also I'm just thinking for my college documentary, I want her to look injured, so it'll be like
she probably still has them. She could probably gimmick it up like she's a wrestler. She'll probably do that for you. Anyway, guys, we'll be back next week. But until then, for the surprise entrant, Corporate Nicola, for Corporate Cian, I've been Rick Nash, and that's the bottom line. Because Lobo said so.